This is Bazaar Morning Call, broadcasting live from the CNBC TV 18 Motilal Oswal studios in Mumbai.
Good morning. Welcome to Bazaar Morning Call. You're joining us live from the CNBC TV 18 Motilal Oswal studio right here in Mumbai. I'm Sonia. With me are Nigel and Rima. Well, folks, good morning. It's the last day of what has been a really volatile week for the market. Struggling to hold on to that 19,500 mark.
But it's Friday.
So the mood is upbeat for us because it's a Friday, but even the global mood is fairly upbeat.
Yeah, it is fairly upbeat. So, lots to talk about, right? I mean, and so many earnings, so much data. So let's get straight to it. The big question really is, will this 19,500 mark, will it get conquered? Because that's been a bit of a hurdle for the market through the course of the week. Give and take everything, it's been sort of hard to get above that resistance zone. So let's see what happens today. Now, there was large selling from domestic investors yesterday in the cash market. So you had DIs sell about 1,200 odd crores, while FIIs bought 2,237 crores. So I guess that neutralized the DI selling. But just keep that on board, that after a while, you've seen such a large chunk go out from DIIs. Now, global cues are very strong, as Rima was also pointing out. The Nasdaq was up 1.5% yesterday. And once again, both CPI and the PPI data, the inflation print has cooled off substantially in the US. And that's aided a lot of the, global markets. The expectation that perhaps there'll just be one more rate hike and then that's it. For the week, if you look at it, the S&P 500 is up 2.5%. The Nasdaq has outperformed. It's up 3.5% this week. So all eyes are going to be on global markets later in the evening as well. It's an important day of earnings today for the US because you have JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, Citi, BlackRock all set to report their earnings. And talking about earnings back home as well, you have the tech stocks that continue to be in focus. Wipro's numbers were weaker than what the street was expecting. There was a fall in their revenues of almost 3%. So the street is not going to like that. And they've also deferred their compensation cycle. So, that's something that may perhaps spook the street this morning. Also keep an eye out on what's happening with the crude prices because they've hit a 3-month high after the easing of US inflation. So many things to talk about. I think, suffice to say that this 19,500 mark has become a bit of a hurdle. Not too sure if there are enough and more triggers to take it out.
But this morning, there are a lot of global indicators which are very bullish. For starters, the dollar index. The dollar index is eased below 100. So this is clearly a risk-on indicator. The two earnings which came out of the United States, one of them was PepsiCo and the other one was Delta Airlines. Now, early birds, but, these are indicators of the U.S. economy and very, very strong numbers. PepsiCo has seen 6 consecutive quarters of a double-digit price increase. But it's getting absorbed by the market. It's getting absorbed by the consumers. And PepsiCo has gone ahead and raised its estimates, its guidance. Even Delta Airlines, which has been a big beneficiary of the post-pandemic travel boom. They came out with their Q2 numbers, very solid, 19% top-line growth. For Q3, they're guiding for 11 to 14% growth, and full-year guidance has also been raised. These are indicators of the U.S. economy. Again, early birds. Today, we will get more numbers from the financial space. But, the numbers are looking quite solid, which indicates that the U.S. economy is still very much on a solid footing. For our own markets today, you've got numbers from Bandhan Bank. You have a few others like Just Dial, CCL products. But the big mid-cap number to track will be Bandhan Bank. And tomorrow, you've got D-Mart. But, Nigel, for the last couple of days, we've been making the point how the Nifty has been very much in this band of 19,300 to 19,500 on the way up. I think for the last 5 or 6 trading sessions, and this 19,500 is turning out to be a bit of a hurdle. We are getting there, but unable to conclusively conquer that mark. Look at the highs over the last couple of days.
Well, that's right. It seems that the Nifty is afraid of heights. Okay. And that height is at 19,500 odd mark. While for the Nifty bank, it's around 45,000 odd. But the big point in terms of a global cue is the dollar index. That's the lowest we have seen in the last 15 months or so. And I think that's a big positive for all emerging markets. And since India has been standing out, but it's a good tailwind for us. The Nifty, well, struggling to hold on to 19,500. The Nifty bank facing resistance at around 45,000. But the uptrend is very much on track till we hold on to that 19,000, 19,100 odd mark. If you're looking at yesterday's trading session, you'll see the Nifty came off the highs, the Nifty bank came off the highs. But I want to understand whether or not the broader markets are in for some bit of more consolidation or maybe some bit of a pullback. Remember, stocks out there just went one way. But yesterday actually was a painful day for portfolios. The mid and the small cap indices were under pressure, and you had two stocks that were declining. for one stock that was advancing. But the point that I was making with regard to the 19,500 odd mark, in the last 5 out of 6 trading sessions, we have gone to those levels, but we are not able to hold on to that mark. The Nifty Bank as well. All the last few sessions, this week itself, we've almost gone to around that 45,000 odd, but we're coming off. Yesterday, we came over 400 points from those levels. What do the FIs do? After a while, they added short positions, close on 10,000 short positions, and I like that. You'll want more number of shorts in the system. If you get some bit of good news, the shorts will be forced to cover out. And just last week, the net long positions, that's the long minus the short positions, went to more than a lakh. The last time it happened was the early December, and then we saw the markets pull back. This time around as well, the markets are feeling some bit of pressure when the net long positions of the FIs go over 1 lakh. Now, after this short position that we have seen added, the net long positions has come down to around 86,000 contracts, which is pretty good news. And now they continue to remain net longs, but at least it's come down from around those mid-70s to around 69%. Two strikes were very active, the 19,500 call and 19,500 put, which brings us to the support zone. If the 19,500 put is being written, then 19,375 becomes the important first level of support. If there's a straddle in place at 19,500, then 19,300 to 19,375, very, very important in terms of a support zone. Resistance we have seen at around 19,550. On the Nifty Bank, well, the 45,000 call, well, that's been getting written. So on the upside, 45,000, 45,200, that's an important level. While on the downside, the 20 DMA comes in at around 44,380. That's an important support zone out there. The GIFT Nifty, the derived number is suggesting a 40-50 point gap up. Can we build on to that? Is today the day you go ahead and conquer that 19,500? Well, time will tell. Let's set ourselves up for a Super Friday.
Okay, Super Friday is here, so let's tell us what we've lined up for you in the first half an hour of the show. We'll get you updates from the markets across the globe, and Mixo Das of JP Morgan will join in to discuss the global trade setup. Later on, our research team will bring you CNBC TV 18's list of top stocks for the day. And at around 8:30 a.m., we'll do a fundamental stock analysis with Nishal Maheshwari of Centrum Broking.
All right, let's begin the day with some views. Before that, the Asian markets are also doing pretty well this morning. So just take one look at the Hong Kong market. It's up almost about 1% right now. So lots of green on the screen as we kickstart trade. On the equities front, we have Lawrence Belanco of CLSA who says that Wednesday's drop in the US dollar index reinforces our view that the US dollar formed a major peak in September 2022. Historically, he adds, a falling dollar has typically resulted in a strong performance from emerging markets. He notes that both the emerging market ETF and the emerging market bond ETF are on the cusp of confirming fresh breakout signals. In the US, Lawrence says the rotation trade into laggards continues. He adds Wednesday's trading range breakout in the Russell 2000 contrasts with the slowing upside momentum in the S&P 500.
Let's get you some money market views then. Lakshmanan V, a federal bank, says the US CPI inflation print softened to a 2-year low at 3%, leading to positive reactions from all major currencies against the US dollar, and the dollar index falling to a 15-month low. He says the rupee continued its winning streak for the 4th consecutive day, with the forward premium trading at a 2-week high and a 1-year implied yield rising to 1.75%. He expects the USD-INR pair to trade in a range of 81.78 to 82.35 against the dollar during the next few trading sessions.
Okay, well, on the bonds, Lakshmanan says that domestic bonds tracking the US markets rallied to 7.06% with a jump in volumes. He also says that short covering was seen in the market, and he adds that today's auction for the benchmark bond is expected to be well bid. He expects the 10-year benchmark bond yield to trade in a range of 7.02 to 7.12% in the next few sessions.
Well, we have a lot of stock-specific action to track for you. Get to that in just a wee bit from now. For the time being, let's run you through the top 10 lists that we'll be tracking for you. We're looking at Wipro, GMR Power. You have Angel One, Patanjali Foods, you're a CSB Bank, TTK Health, JBM Auto, and ONGC. All of them on positive news flow. On the flip side, Spark and Tata Metallics will be reacting to negative news flow overnight.